mysteriously continue to go missing.
Yeah, he just got the blue lights on behind him.
So Pennington and his wife camped out and discovered one woman stealing them. They called 911. Stanley County Sheriff's deputies were ready to make a larceny arrest until...
We gotta talk to him again.
Listen again to what a deputy told Pennington.
We gotta talk to him again.
Vang currently works as chief...
Ready?
Yep.
All right, take 4.
Take 4. Here we go. How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? This is the North Carolina Angry Patriots from North Carolina. This is the boss lady.
How y'all doing? Thanks for watching and supporting all our videos so far. We have a lot more to go over and talk about, and we're going to go ahead and get started now.
Yeah, we sure are. We're going to keep continuing on with all the corruption in North Carolina in the past and in the future, so it don't happen again. You want to go with the thief?
Yeah.
And the dirty prosecutor who sent him out to steal?
Yeah.
All right,
Let's
ladies and gentlemen, we fixing to show y'all some videos. We told y'all we was going to keep showing them. This is the woman who was sent out to steal property by a dirty district attorney. When we talk about courthouse mafia, well, we first-hand experience at it. We're going to show you illegal gambling games run by dirty law enforcement politicians, thousands of dollars going across the tables. And we're going to start with the first video. This is the woman, what's her name?
Sandra Lord Jordan.
Sandra Lord Jordan, who was caught red-handed stealing property that did not belong to her. And the DAs are the ones who sent her out to steal it.
Yeah, we found out that her daughter actually worked for the DA and had apparently called her. And funny story, because we have to tell how she got caught, because we had paid people to watch our signs because they have been disappearing that we have been putting out. And so we had people out watching our signs for us.
Well, you didn't have to worry about getting caught when law enforcement knows who's doing it and ain't going to stop you.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're being protected by law enforcement from being arrested for stealing property when the DAs are the ones that sent you out to steal it, well, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Yeah. Except unidentified blondes who don't mind sitting around with video cameras.
Yeah.
Signs with Vaseline on them so you can't just jump in your car and drive off real quick.
Yeah, that was a funny story. So the unidentified blonde was sitting there watching our signs, and here came along the woman from the call from the DA, and was over there trying to get our signs, and she had them in her car. When my friend called, we didn't live too far away, so we went up there and was videotaping her, and I asked my friend, she was sitting on the hood. I said, "What is she doing?" She said, "I'm not really sure. She's just sitting there." Well, I had decided, since all of our signs were getting gone, that I was going to just load them down with Vaseline. That way they couldn't just jerk them up and drive off. So she just sit there for a minute and wipe all the Vaseline off of her hands before evading the police for a few miles.
It's funny because the law states that you steal a person's campaign sign, that's a class 3 misdemeanor.
Something like that.
I believe that's what they said, class 3 misdemeanor. Well, they stole 14 of her signs in different areas, so she committed 14 misdemeanors. and yet law enforcement refused to arrest her to begin with. And then when she did get arrested, it wasn't nothing but a dirty tactic.
She didn't get arrested. She never got arrested.
Excuse me, when she got charged.
Yeah, she never got
Yeah,
arrested.
she never went to jail.
She even never went to court.
Yeah, she never had to show up.
I did. I had to show up all 3 times. You know why? Because if I wouldn't have showed up, they would have dropped the charges against her.
Well, they knew you weren't going to quit showing up, so they had to figure out another tactic. And that was to, what I call a Hunter Biden plea deal. You know, you just go ahead and make a deal with the prosecutors. You don't have to show up in court. Don't have to pay a bond. Don't have to hire a lawyer.
Yeah. No.
Everything goes off your name. In her case, nothing ever went on her name, but you know,
No.
she didn't get nothing, and I didn't get my signs back neither.
In your neighborhood, Fox 46 investigator David Santandri spoke exclusively with a man campaigning against what he calls corruption and cronyism, ranging from the courts to the sheriff's office in Stanley County.
Does a courthouse mafia exist in Stanley County? Well, these unusual campaign signs say so.
I want the Stanley County Courthouse Mafia stopped.
Terry Pennington, the man behind the signs, says people in positions of power want them gone.
This lady has our signs that we purchased in the back of this car.
The signs read, "Stop Courthouse Mafia. Vote no to Ty Vang. Not good for Stanley County." Vang is running for district court judge. The signs mysteriously continue to go missing.
Yeah, he just got the blue lights on behind him.
So Pennington and his wife camped out and discovered one woman stealing them. They called 911. Stanley County Sheriff's deputies were ready to make a larceny arrest until...
We gotta talk to the DA.
Listen again to what a deputy told Pennington.
We gotta talk to the DA.
Vang currently works as Chief Assistant DA in Stanley County.
They refused to arrest her or charge her, and they had her with the signs in her car, in her yard. Videotape of her pulling them out of the ground.
Fox 46 went to her home, but no one would answer the door. Next, we went to the Stanley County Sheriff's Office. They refused to do an on-camera interview. They said they don't believe these are legitimate campaign signs, since Pennington himself is not running and only campaigning against someone. That's when we took our questions to the Board of Elections.
This is not a traditional sign that you see probably every election cycle, is it?
It is not. It's not a typical campaign sign, but it is certainly allowed by law.
And it's certainly a Class 3 misdemeanor to steal one. But again, the Sheriff's Office did not file charges.
I know there's great law enforcement out there, and I care about them. I'll take bullets for them. But there's some out there that's dirty as well. None of the other ones will stand up to them.
And that's what he means by courthouse mafia. Colleagues who behave more like cronies, watching each other's backs at the expense of the law. North Carolina State Representative Justin Burr used the phrase back in 2012 to describe some in Stanley County, where Pennington's been fighting for a long time.
It's not called Stanley County Courthouse Mafia just by us.
Back in February, Pennington spoke to Fox 46 about allegedly being forced out of his business so politicians could use the building to run high-stakes poker games, all while operating directly next door to the Stanfield Police Department.
Is the police department aware that you've been playing poker at the bar? Because they're right next door.
Fox 46's investigation led to multiple politicians being charged. Speaking of politicians, here we go again. Stanfield Town Councilman Rick Williams is seen approaching these controversial signs until he sees Pennington.
What did he say?
Williams appears to shout something.
What did he say?
He said his name's Rick something with the SBI.
Well, the FBI tells Fox 46 he's not one of them, and they're now investigating him for allegedly impersonating an agent, something Williams denies to Fox 46.
Vang knows this is not right.
What does Vang have to say? After all, he's accused of being part of a courthouse mafia. Fox 46 went to the courthouse but Vang declined to comment. His boss, head district attorney Lynn Clodfelter, calls the campaign signs defamatory, ridiculous, and outrageous, adding Pennington has pending charges, including assault inflicting serious injury. Here's the deal with those charges. They stem from an argument with a former business associate. The Locust Police Department led the investigation and closed their case for lack of evidence, but the DA's office pursued indictments anyways.
Well, so that was the video of our courthouse mafia to stop Ty Vang from being a judge, because we don't think that he would make a very good judge. From our previous story of the head-on collision and the shooting in the driveway, he was the DA in that case, and that's why we decided to put out these campaign signs against him for those particular reasons of how he treated our previous case. And they didn't really like that, and there was another guy, the other guy, Rick Williams. We had actually met with the SBI agent, and because it's also illegal to state that you are an SBI agent if you're really not. And so the newspaper clippings said that he gave very vague answers. This is what the DA told the SBI agent. Because after a 3-hour meeting with the SBI agent, he tells us, well, ultimately, this all falls on the DA's desk, and he's the one that gets to say whether anything gets done or not. And so his lame excuses were, well, SBI could stand for any number of things. He kind of mumbled what he said. Just lame excuses that the DA gave to this guy, and the reason that he took up for him and said what he had to say and didn't want to charge him was because he was a city council person in one of our little towns around here. So it's just amazing at how this courthouse mafia all ties together with the good old boys club.
It's amazing that the taxpaying dollars they wasted. I mean, we met him for 3 hours. He got paid for 3 hours at least. Mm-hmm. Then he did his own little investigation. I don't know how many days that took. He got paid for.
And then he met us again.
Then he met us again just to turn around and tell us what we pretty much already knew. They weren't going to do jack squat about it. But that it ultimately fell back on the same DA who was sending out the people to steal the property.
Yeah.
It's nothing but one big circle of corruption. The mafia.
Yeah, and by the way, they don't forget they went to school together, law school together, so they're all buddies. They all work in the same system.
Right, the same way with the lawyers. The lawyers work with the DAs. The DAs work with the lawyers. The DAs and lawyers work with the judges. The DA's, lawyer, and judges work with the law enforcement and the sheriff's departments. I mean, it's just one big circle of corruption.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to keep talking about, you know, these are heroes, and I'm not just talking about law enforcement. Politicians all together, everybody's supposed to be on the front line. They are no front line except us when it comes to protecting our Constitution, because there ain't nobody in the government going to do it, not law enforcement, lawyers, nobody. And with all the evidence we got, it's sad in the Stanley County area how bad it is. And like I say, I know it's not just Stanley County.
Well, people are starting to see it with things that are going on with Trump, with the corrupt judges, the corrupt DAs, the attorneys. But that being said, this happens to regular Americans every single day in courtrooms. They don't like you, they target you, they want to bankrupt you, and that's what they're trying to do to Trump. Well, they do that to people like us that don't have money to fight like that. So then they give you these blackmail deals, which they call a plea bargain. Well, all it is because you're going to spend thousands and thousands of dollars with this attorney that's going before a DA have already talked to them. The judge knows what you're getting before you go in the courtroom. I mean, come on, we all know it. It's happening to Trump. Trump's sitting in a courtroom that there's no jury, and the judge that hates him is going to be the one to make the decision. I mean, where is that fair in America?
Well, that's why we're doing this segment now, take 4 instead of instead of doing what we was originally planning for this tape. But we decided we want to send these videos out, so hopefully somebody show Trump that it ain't just happening to him, that it's been going on for a long time. People like us and a lot of other everyday average citizens are being targeted every day. And we just some of the ones that just got evidence. We're like Trump. We just honestly a hell of a lot poor, excuse me, my French again, but if we had Trump's money, what was done to us would have never been done. And it's never going to stop the people like us, not even if Trump becomes president, unless people expose them and start standing up. We've been forced out of 3 businesses. We got videotape of corrupt lawyers, judges, DAs, prosecutors, police officers. And it, like in this area, it's basically, you know, if it's being done to a regular American, it don't matter. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. If it's done to one of us, it's really done to all of us, because it's a matter of time that even if it ain't this exact right that's being taken away from you, eventually it's everybody's rights being taken away from us. But we want these out here. I don't care how long it takes, I'm gonna keep exposing them. And these videos are just the ones we're beginning to release.
Yeah.
We're going to release this woman just because she's a dirty thief who works for the DAs. I want her to be known everywhere she goes as the dirty thief she is. We're going to call her the DA's thief. That's a good name for her.
Yeah.
I really don't want to say nothing about her grandson that was in the car with her, because she was driving, not him. And he was underage, so I'm not going to show his face, put his name out there, nothing. But his grandmother, yeah, she's a low-life dirty thief that worked for the DA.
What a great example to be for your grandchildren.
Yeah,
If you don't like what somebody's campaigning against, just go steal their stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you didn't, and nowadays they just put you in prison. Ain't that right, President Trump? We love you. But we've been done this way a lot.
Trump, sure.
Trump all the way. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep working. We're slow at this. We're not professionals, but we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Our main goal is to stand up and fight with Trump and help every American we can help. I hate to think of all the people that's sitting in jail or in prison that's went through this Stanley County corruption system that was completely innocent. That was set up like a lot of people. Lawyers who won't stand up for them, lawyers who take their money, knowing that they're going to collude with DAs. This mafia system is not just in Washington against Trump. It's against all the American citizens who believes in your rights. They want you in the corrupt system. They want to destroy your lives. They want you to obey by them. They want anything.
They think they're our boss. For one thing, there's a fly in here.
Well, if you don't stand up, they are. If you don't stand up, they are your boss.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
they think they are. Yeah.
That's
why we got to know our rights and stand up. They are public servants. They work for us. And this is a whole courthouse mafia system that all work together. The police with the attorneys and the DAs and the judges, and cost taxpayers money over just somebody that they don't like.
We're going to show you how law enforcement, who take an oath to uphold your Constitution, will do whatever they're asked or whatever they're told. by anybody that's in power. It don't matter if it's their sergeant. I mean, hell, they don't work for the DA. I didn't know the sheriff's departments work for the district attorneys.
No, but it's okay for them to go out and break the laws and do the things that, I guess that's the two-tier justice system, where it's okay for them to break the laws and do that, but not
Just getting aggravating.
citizens.
I'm trying to figure out where I won't go with this one, because it's a crying shame that this shit's allowed to happen in this world with all the people that's over here targeting our country. You know, I don't want to say our government because they're the ones doing most of it, but our country, our culture, our American flag. I mean, you just look at all the protests that's going on in Washington right now.
New York City?
All because law enforcement don't uphold the Constitution. If they upheld the Constitution, people would not be protesting in our streets when people like Donald Trump win presidents or run for presidents or win presidents. But, you know, it's a crying shame that people like this don't have someone that can put them in check, I reckon is the word I'm saying. You know, people like us try to stand up to a prosecutor like Lynn Claudefelter. He just calls his buddies and have you targeted, have you arrested, whatever he's got to do. Oh yeah, well it's just like, you seen who showed up when a woman got caught stealing her sign, another police officer.
Well, I do know that the one deputy did say that he talked to his boss, and his boss said to arrest her because
that was before the DA got on the phone with him.
Yeah.
See, the boss said arrest her, the DA says don't. Hello? But yeah, it's it comes to the point when I keep saying we need a Constitution enforcement agency that actually upholds the Constitution, where people like individual Americans, business owners, can pick up a phone and make a phone call, and they show up and actually help the citizens.
Yeah, it'd be nice if neighbors did that.
Huh?
I said it'd be nice if neighbors did that these days.
Yeah, that's the most crucial parts, the neighbors in the neighborhoods.
Everybody's too busy fighting.
But the woman in the video, Sandra Locke Jordan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sandra Locke Jordan. I call her the grandma thief, or the DA thief.
Whatever you want to call her. She's just a thief. She is that.
She's a sorry thief that had her grandkid with her. And like I said, she committed.
Her daughter worked at the courthouse for the DA.
She stole 14 signs. I can't say she stole 14 signs, but there was 14 signs got stolen from different areas. Mm-hmm. And she's the one we caught stealing them. She was the one caught on camera.
Red-handed and with them in her car.
Nah, it was white Vaseline handed.
Yeah. That's still so funny.
Yeah, red-handed. She was caught red-handed stealing the signs.
Yeah.
Then she failed to stop for a blue light for what, at least a half a mile?
Yeah.
Maybe probably a mile, which I thought was illegal. I was pretty sure that's a felony. You're supposed to immediately pull over with blue lights, especially in the daytime.
Yeah, it was broad daylight.
Yeah, broad daylight.
Well, she had to make sure she got
to the phone
DA on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her daughter first. She had to get a hold of her daughter first. And then go, hey, we got an emergency. My mom's done been caught stealing these signs. What's she supposed to do now?
Send it to the DA.
Yeah. He said... Transfer
the phone call.
He said, I got a call from the DA. They said not to arrest her. So, they didn't. I had to go to the magistrate's office and take out papers from her. Did we get reimbursed for our signs? No.
Or
the Vaseline.
Yeah. Now, when she says she has to go, we had to go take out papers. Now, this thieving woman was caught red-handed stealing property, failed to stop for a blue light. The deputy sheriff's own video stating that he's fixing to arrest her for larceny of my property. And then she hands him the phone with the DA on it, and the DA tells him not to arrest her, but to arrest me.
Yeah.
Which didn't work out in his favor. I didn't go to jail, but long story short, it goes to show how you do not have a constitution system.
And we have all this on video.
Yeah, everything.
We even
You people think when you go out and you vote for a sheriff that he actually works for the citizens. Y'all elected him. No, he don't. He works for the courthouses. He works for the district attorney. He works for anybody that's in that building or rides around in them police cars. He will not stand in the way of any other government official violating your constitution. I ain't seen none that will anyway. Mine didn't. I voted for both of them, and they both just pissed on my constitution rights. And it happens all the time in Stanley County. It happens all the time in North Carolina, everywhere, really. But we want the whole world to see Stanley County's courthouse mafia. Then we want politicians to explain why is it legal to have a mafia system in our justice system as our justice system. I mean, I'm just curious to know is where's our rights? Where's our rights to arrest dirty law enforcement, dirty politicians?
Dirty judges.
Yeah, especially judges. I would voluntarily be some of the first ones that'd be glad to go around and lock up dirty judges. I'd do it free of charge. But I want Donald Trump to see this because he knows what it's like now. We got a letter back from the White House that said, sorry, we can't help you. It's not our department. I thought he was the commander-in-chief of all law enforcement. So he should be able to arrest the judges that's actually illegally prosecuting him.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. But
we know he really won the election.
In Stanley County, though, you got to be ready. We know what's going to come towards us for what we're doing. We just decided to do it anyway. We're going to release the videos, the court transcripts.
And another thing that's coming to us is a bunch of illegal immigrants.
Out of San Diego yesterday afternoon. What you're looking at is 3 unmarked white Border Patrol buses. They pull up and they start releasing several hundred illegal immigrants to city streets and sidewalks in San Diego across from a transit terminal. People were on this bus from as far away as China and Pakistan. And keep in mind, these buses are not from Texas. They're not Greg Abbott's buses. These are the Biden administration's buses. This is Border Patrol mass releasing people. You can see handfuls of them are standing around not knowing where they are, what to do, where to go next. And there was a remarkable exchange between one migrant and a Border Patrol agent as he asked the agent, hey, am I okay to travel to Chicago? And the agent says, yep, you're good to go. Take a listen.
You're free to go. You can call anywhere you want. You're free to.
Okay, it's no problem if I go to Chicago.
Wherever you want. You're free to.
You get let in.
Good afternoon.
Just landed in Tucson. This whole waiting room right here, all the way on all sides. Illegals that have just come through. Non-stop, guys. Non-stop. Joe Biden, Mayorkas, this whole waiting room right here. Illegals heading to Dallas and then to every part of the country. Way to go, Open Borders Democrats. It's coming everywhere. Unbelievable. And just got to the next gate here. This is all going to Atlanta. Same thing. Vast majority illegals coming to your neighborhood. This is nuts. What's crazy to me is you and I have to have documents. We have to be vetted. I mean, it's just like, so just had another lady come up, recognized me from the work we do, and thanked me. Couldn't go on camera, same thing. Afraid for her daughter's job. I won't say what it is. But guys, this is the worst. I mean, I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say this, worst I've seen it. This is the worst I've seen it in Tucson. If you think about
it's going to get worse because now you got a bunch of illegal intruders out there busting into all these cities.
Well, if law enforcement would do their jobs. Now, this is the excuse you're going to hear law enforcement in North Carolina say, well, we're not Border Patrol. Well, this is my answer to that. They're not on the damn border. They're in their cities. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
I mean, if they're not going to police illegal immigrants for any reason, I don't care what politician tells them not to, they ain't got no damn right to police us. We are the taxpayers. We are the American citizens who keep this country going. We have no business overseas in foreign wars. We have no business allowing illegal immigrants to take our jobs in the United States, period.
Yeah.
We wasn't allowed to have our business. We're going to show you why. Politicians wanted the buildings to run gambling rings. Politicians wanted the property to resell it. Politicians were bought off and paid off by prosecutors, judges, dirty law enforcement, real estate gurus. And we had the videos to prove it. Nobody might not care. We care. We care if it's being done to y'all or any other Americans, and that's why we're doing this. We're taking a big risk, and we know we're going to be targets for it again. But either way, we're going to put it out there. The court systems have no right to not allow you to have video cameras in your court trials while you're the ones being tried. Judges have no right to withhold evidence, deny evidence, force you to be prosecuted with unprepared lawyers, force you to be prosecuted on charges that was already dismissed, thrown out of court, or you won. Judges have no legal right to violate your rights for any reason in that courtroom. You have more rights in that courtroom than he does. You pay for it. We pay for it. And the only way we're ever going to have our rights is when we band together, stand up together, and stop it from happening in our courtrooms. The only way to do that is start policing the police officers.
Yeah.
Police, no politicians is raiding nobody's business. I ain't seen a politician pick up not one Capital 6 protester, or whatever they want to call us. I ain't never seen a politician raid nobody's businesses. They use law enforcement to violate the Constitution. The only people going to uphold our Constitution is we the people. So we want to thank everybody for watching the North Carolina Angry Patriot 1776. Ain't that right?
Our email address is North Carolina NCAngryPatriot 1776@gmail.com.
It's my cup. I'm trying to get it spent just right.
All our social media pages.
Yeah, we want to thank all of our people that's watching it for us. It's how you get stuff stopped when it comes to corruption is you just keep sharing it. You keep exposing it. So eventually, maybe one day we'll have enough people throughout the whole world that'll stand up for the Constitution throughout the United States. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. That'll actually hold law enforcement as well as all politicians accountable. If law enforcement don't want to uphold the Constitution, I say we just take their jobs and give it to American taxpaying citizens that will. I mean, we got enough unemployed Americans to be glad to take that job and actually uphold the Constitution. Mm-hmm. Everybody gets comfortable with that job though, so they don't want to stand up against the corruption because they don't want to take the chance of losing that job. And in a way, it's a good thing to want to keep a job. That's all great and dandy, but when you got to violate people's rights to keep it, then that ain't no good.
No, not when that's the one thing that they swore to uphold to do, was to uphold the Constitution, foreign and
domestic.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, well, It would be different too if they
right.
policed everybody, but they don't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't tell me that it's okay to police American citizens, tell us what businesses we can operate, can't, where we can and where we can't. We got to drive electric cars and just every little rules that they want to put in office, or they want to put in their little town hall meetings and sit behind closed doors, we have to obey. While illegal immigrants get to drive up and down the roads, take all the jobs, and be free.
Well,
they got the great American dream, and we've been shoved down to the bottom of the sewage line.
Mm-hmm. And not only that, just last week I've had two different people tell me about getting in accidents in Charlotte.
That reminds me, just go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that reminded me of something.
And they were hit by illegal immigrants, and they didn't have any driver's license, no insurance or nothing, and they were just told they're free to go. You're free to go.
I mean, you get pulled over at a McDonald's with no insurance and no license or nothing, they're going to take her car. Most likely take you to jail.
Yeah.
Well, they got to get money from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
When you said that, that reminded me, I seen the video of the wreck. Of the smugglers that was chasing that was running from law enforcement. They hit the cars head on.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what state that was in. But
I think it was Washington State.
Whatever state it was in, they should be criminal punishment for the politicians and the sheriffs who did not close that border. The people who died being hit by them immigrants, family deserves recognition from the people who allowed them immigrants. And the people want to say, well, they ain't nobody, they didn't do nothing. They were smuggled across. They come across illegal. Close the damn border. I mean.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. There was 8 people total that were killed, and 6 of them were smugglers, and they were running from the police. And I'm pretty sure it happened in Houston. They were running from the police, and they went to go around a tractor trailer and hit a car head on and killed those people, and all 6 of the people in the car died too. And they knew that they were smugglers and smugglees, I guess.
I mean, they ain't nobody can tell me it's cheaper to house, feed, and help care illegal immigrants than it is to build the wall or secure borders any means necessary.
How about housing our veterans? The people that fought for our country. How about let's house them and make sure there's not one single homeless veteran on the street. That all veterans that have mental things going on because of the wars that they've endured fighting for our country. How about let's making sure they're taken care of? Why are we taking care of immigrants invading our country? Is this your plan, Democrats? These are all fighting age men. I don't care what the Democrat channels are showing with all the babies and the mamas and stuff like that. Those babies probably don't even belong to those women. There's so much child smuggling and trafficking going on. And we need to worry about in our home. Our home is the United States of America. And we need to worry about what goes on inside our borders. And not letting all these illegal intruders
inside our borders. That's where I get back again, because sometimes I feel like we get off topic, but in reality, it's all linked to the same topic. If law enforcement would uphold the Constitution, police politicians and prosecutors and judges like they do the American citizens, police illegal immigrants like they do American citizens, we wouldn't have this invasion. We wouldn't have all the corruption.
Well, First off, in illegal intruders is the word illegal. So if we do something illegal, commit a crime, which is basically the same thing, right? Then we're gonna go to jail.
Yeah.
They just let them go.
Well, they want to use the excuse in the cities. Well, we're not Border Patrol. Well, that's my same answer again. Well, they're not at the border. They already made it into the cities. So if law enforcement's not going to police illegal immigrants in our cities, and all they want to police are the American citizens, if the prosecutors, all they want to do is just prosecute American citizens for anything they can think of or make up crimes, if nobody's going to uphold the Constitution and keep our borders safe and police illegal immigrants in our city, let's relieve all of them of their duties, and the taxpaying Americans stand up. Let's police the illegal immigrants as well as the police, the politicians, the corrupt court systems, and we'll have our Constitution back. People like me, as well as millions of other people, especially like Donald Trump, will not be put in prison for wanting to run for president, wanting to stand up for the American citizens. We're going to show everybody what true Mafiaism is all about. Really, Giuliani didn't kill the Mafias. He didn't wipe out the Mafia system. He just took it from one group and give it to the government. And that's all he did. And they grew it big. And they're still growing, by the way. Don't forget the 85,000 IRS agents.
Yeah.
They're not going after the illegal immigrants. They don't even know where they are or who they are.
Border Patrol's telling them they're free to go wherever they want to.
Border Patrols are 90% immigrants. And I don't mean American immigrants, I mean immigrants, illegals. Whether they got here illegal or what, they're not American citizens. And if they are, they're traitors. Excuse my language, sorry to feel that way. I don't know why everybody seems to think that it's okay just to obey orders. I'm finally hearing a couple people that I watch say we're getting tired of hearing law enforcement say we're just doing our jobs while they're raiding American homes, targeting Americans, spying on Americans, and allowing our country to be invaded at the same time.
Yeah.
And they're not going to stop. Just like these dirty politicians and law enforcement and prosecutors in Stanley County that runs the Stanley County Courthouse Mafia didn't stop and ain't stopped and still going on. It's not going to stop nowhere's on the borders or in the big cities, Washington, D.C., or nowhere's, until we, the American people, stand up and stop it. I hate this country's like it is. But for the last 20, 30 years, I've seen it coming. I knew when you have to go out and compete against all the illegal immigrants while you're being called lazy, you very rarely have a chance in America as American citizens to have jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're the target of being prosecuted in any way, shape, or form while illegal immigrants are allowed to drive right by you, operate businesses right beside of yours, it really sucks.
Well, it's not right. They forget who they work for, and they abide by orders. And
hey, it's called a pyramid scheme. You go from the top to the bottom, and everybody from the top's telling the bottom what to do. Hey, we heard the law enforcement say that.
Mm-hmm.
We got that video saved. Hey, we down here, we get our orders from the next person above, and they get theirs from the next above, and it goes all the way to the top, and that's how we obey orders. Well, if that's the case, American citizens has no chance at a Constitution unless we stand up for it. And allow law enforcement to police Americans while they turn the blind eye to illegal immigrants and say, I'm just obeying orders, I'm just doing my job.
Well, while they got all this illegal intruders coming in, then they want to try to take everybody's Second Amendment away from them too.
Well, that's like they're saying now that all these First Amendment auditors that we watching, they're starting to close off the lobbies to the buildings and throwing people in jail, making it illegal. We just seen one today that I think it was just released 2 days ago that they drugged the guy out for just sitting in there with his cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
And they took 2 or 3 out that day.
Well, it's legally the law in North Carolina that you can videotape any government official, government person, and in their duties, as long as you're not like interfering if there's a traffic stop and like being all up in the way. then yeah, you're free to record anything in government
Anything in
buildings,
eyesight.
public buildings, anything you can see with your eyes, you can record. Even though they don't like it, and they have cameras all over their buildings and are filming us everywhere we go, they don't like it when we police the police.
This is to the American citizen who ends up getting a job working for the government. You're actually working for the tax-paying citizens.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. Because there will be a day of recognition in government being held accountable for the crimes that they commit. And people shouldn't forget, because you go to work for the government, that you still have American neighbors. You still have the dream. And you're the ones that is supposed to make it easy for us to be able to live a better life. That's why we elect you. But instead, you don't care. You want to make it easier for everybody except the American citizens.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing's wrong with this country. First thing is, we shouldn't need no government permission to operate any business. I don't care what it is. Second thing, if it's good enough for the government to operate, it should be good enough for the citizens to operate. If the government wants to run a liquor store, the American citizens should have a right to run a liquor store. The government wants to run gambling operations, should be legal for the American citizens to operate a gambling without giving their money to the government. I mean, for heaven's sake, if the government ain't smart enough to take American dollars and make money off of it, why the hell do we use them? Why don't we fire them and put somebody in charge that's smart enough to take our money and make money off of it instead of going in debt every time they get it?
Yeah.
I mean, name one business that the government's took and made profitable for the American citizens, other than, smuggling kids and all shit that they should be hanged for.
Yeah, well, that's all the rich people that are doing that too.
But they don't, we pay trillions of dollars a year in taxes, and all they do is go in the hole every year. They lose it plus money.
Supposedly.
I mean,
I think they all should be like monetarily.
They the worst gamblers I ever seen in history.
Yeah, it's kind of like trying to investigate a corrupt police guy. You got to go through internal affairs, so they kind of investigate themselves, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a good situation when you get to investigate the crimes you commit. If I could investigate crimes and I got to commit the crimes, I'd be filthy rich. My goodness, ain't no politician be as rich as me. Putin just think he had money. Yeah, we're trying to have a good time while we're doing this too. We don't want to make everything just a bad situation and everything bad news. But we're just getting started. We got a whole lot of corruption we're going to expose. This is going up to politicians that's still running for office right now. Even though they cowards and they think they got Donald Trump status and they can hide. And I don't mean that about Donald Trump. You're the best person in history, especially the president.
It's Veterans Day. I want to say thank you to all our military women, men, and the ones that have fought for our country, the ones that are overseas now. We pray for you guys.
We pray for all the veterans, and we're going to show a video of how our veterans really get treated from our government. A lot of people's not going to like this video, and I hope a lot of people see it. We're not going to show it right now, but it's coming. But y'all veterans, stay safe out there. Everybody should help a veteran every chance you get. It don't matter. You can be on bad luck, but remember this, without them veterans, you'd be on a hell of a lot worse luck, because you wouldn't be in this country.
Yeah.
The veterans are the reason we have America. Period. And we love all of our veterans. No matter where you're from. If you're a veteran, we love you.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. And we're going to have some more to post next week on our new adventure coming up. And thanks for watching. This was our Take 4 video with the thief that was stealing our signs. And we'll have more about that in upcoming videos.
Oh, yeah.
We'll mix it up some and...
Well, she thinks that's all over. And it is as far as legal matters, I reckon. But not for being exposed. She's going to be known. Everybody that we can expose in this corruption, especially the grandma thief who was sent out by the district attorneys to steal, that got busted because of Vaseline.
Alright, signing off. God bless everybody.
Thank all of y'all for watching us and
Thanksgiving's
tuning
coming
in.
up. Y'all be safe. Watch your back. Watch your neighbors' backs. Keep an eye out.
Yeah, stay prepared. Everybody knows it's going to be a rough year.
Yeah, don't wait for it to get to your door because it's too late. Prepare yourself now and be really safe because there are some bad people coming in this country and they are doing some really bad things. They're attacking people on the interstates, causing accidents so they can rob people. It's getting Christmas shopping time, so y'all just be careful. And I know there's videos and stuff out there, but like if you see something strange around your car, the best thing to do is just get in your car and go. Call the police if you have to going down the road.
But y'all be safe. Love y'all veterans. Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day.
And we'll be making Take 5 shortly.
Happy birthday to the Marine Corps.
That's right.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Signing off.